challenge really, especially for micro and small enterprise, is their ability to benefit from ASEAN. What really has to happen is the medium and large companies who are in partnership or is in exporting already to the 10 ASEAN countries embrace really the micro and small enterprises as part of the ecosystem. If you go around, it's very challenging, whatever it is, for a small entrepreneur to have direct relationship with maybe medium and large, especially in agriculture. So the way, what we've been explaining to the ASEAN Advisory Council is large corporations, and this is where inclusivity has to be practiced, is to really bring in, especially our small agri farmers, as part of the ecosystem, the supply chain. So as the big companies start to do business with the ASEAN neighbors, especially as tariffs are brought down, then the chances of micro and small entrepreneurs moving up from survival to sustainable, from small to medium, the effect is much faster. Indirectly, they would have mentorship, because as I bring in my own suppliers, whether it's in agri or whatever business it is, I indirectly already mentor them and strengthen the level of technical expertise to be able to supply me certain raw materials. And I think that is the formula that is the way forward for many of our micro and small. There will be a chance as technology improves, as platforms on online trading are there, whereby you would have maybe the small and medium enterprises being able to sell their goods on different retail platforms. But as we know, especially in the Philippines and maybe some other ASEAN countries, the challenge really is the level of availability of communication, especially on data access, especially on data access in the provinces. The challenge really is, by far, is to look at where each country's strength lies in. A typical example is, for example, in our own country, the Philippines, how do you, poverty alleviation in the Philippines, by and large, whereby now your rice farmers are basically going to have to open up to the free trade. In other words, the tariff barriers on rice and access has been lifted as part of the ASEAN commitment. That exposes many of these farmers, whether in the Philippines or in other countries, on greater competition. The question there is that, are these small entrepreneurs ready? And again, that is a battle between the economists and those people who are creating prosperity. What is that balance? And this is one of the reasons why we selected prosperity for all. Because we have to look at, in the end, what I call the greater good. The greater good is, of course, one can argue that because of ASEAN, products and prices of products have to be competitive so that the consumers benefit. But then the entrepreneurs who are not fit to be in that sector, but comprise bulk of the population that are in the marginalized poor, what happens to them? How do you achieve that balance? And that is where, as an example in the Philippines, we are struggling with that policy. And you can see the president does struggle with it when he sees the poor. So through this program, hopefully each of the prime ministers will share their roadmap towards prosperity. And it's very clear that what Malaysia, Thailand, and Vietnam has done we've seen that the level of poverty has been reduced. And Many countries can definitely take inspiration from that.